In this video segment, we're going to take a look at how you go ahead and create a new assignment or definition in the TIES gradebook. There's some new things to pay attention to with some of the changes that the gradebook has experienced in the past few weeks, so we're going to go ahead and highlight a few of those key things here as we create a mock-up definition. To start the process off, we're first of all going to go to the Scores menu, and on the left-hand side you choose the class you want. Just scroll down here, and in my case I'm going to use Mathematics, and then to the far right under the Select an Action menu, I'm going to choose Add a New Definition. And the screen that initially comes up really isn't much different than what we've seen before. There's a location in the upper left-hand corner for you to type in a title. I'm going to go ahead and type in Graphing 7.9 for the name of the assignment. I'm going to try to spell that right. There we go. And then to the far right, there's a location where you can choose a category, whether it's formative or summative. There's also an option for you to choose a non-calculating category. You can set up those as well if you wanted a non-calculating category called pre-assessments or something along those lines. Anything in that non-calculating category obviously is not factored into the overall grade. So we'll show you how to set that up in a little bit here. For this assignment, I'm going to put it actually into the formative category. Below here, everything in the TIES gradebook for all new assignments is going to have a default of 4 maximum points because we're using that same 4-point system that will be integrated with the elementary report card as well. So if you try to put in 50 or 25, it actually will error out and you will need to go ahead and choose that 4. So this is where you're going to kind of think about the rubrics that you have created for these individual assignments and use that to help you arrive at individual student grades. Below the max points box, there's a section here for scale your weighting. Now you don't have to use scale your weighting, but if there is an assignment, and this usually comes into play with the summative work, that you want to weight a summative assignment at a higher value than some other summative work the students have worked on in the past, you can go ahead and change this, say, to a 2, which is really like doubling the point value, or you can put it at a 3 or a 4. Typically, as teachers have tested this out a little bit in the past with us, anywhere between a 2 to a 5 scale the weighting has been some common weights that teachers have used in the past. But you're going to kind of maybe talk to your grade level and decide on some consistent weighting that you want to use with some of your assessments, and have that conversation with your grade level teams before you get too embedded with scalar weighting. Down a little further is kind of one of the, I think, the most exciting new features with the TIES gradebook. It's where you can link an assignment to a reporting standard. And we had kind of a roundabout way of doing that before, but now all of the reporting standards for every subject area, except I think for health and except for social studies, will have reporting standards available now. And so in the case of mathematics, we can scroll down here. They have these little plus minus signs in front of each standard area. So in math, I can click the plus sign. It'll expand and show me those main areas. And if I want to look at just the number and operations reporting standards, I can set those up by just expanding that one particular section. So as I scroll up here just a little bit further, if this particular assignment is the Graphing 7.9, well, I can see here there's no graphing standards there, maybe under algebra. I can scroll here and I can see here is the reporting standard that deals with graphing. So I can go ahead and place a check in there, and that calculation will now be linked with that individual reporting standard and allow me to submit my grades to the report card, and that grade will show up underneath this reporting standard, recognize the relationships between variables, function, rules, patterns, tables, and graphs. That's a long one. And so just to kind of summarize what I've done here, you put in a title, choose formative or summative, the max points is set up. If you want to scale your weight, you can do that. I'm not going to scale or weight this formative assignment. And then check whatever reporting standard that assignment is associated with. And then I'm going to go ahead and save and enter scores. It'll bring up a data entry screen here where I can now go ahead and put in the individual scores that kids have earned with that particular assignment. I'm not going to enter all of them, but over to the right here you can see there is a little summary screen that shows you S1. If you float your little hand over that, it'll tell you what reporting standard that assignment is connected to. And so I'm just going to save and return to the scores menu, and now that individual assignment has been updated. In a little bit, with a future video clip, we're going to take a look at how some of the reports can be run to look at some of this data. Thank you.